Hello, and welcome to our 10th anniversary virtual celebration. I'm Tricia Russell, Executive Director with Fear to Freedom. Tonight, we are kicking off our year of celebrations by taking a look at the past 10 years, honoring our incredible founder, Rosemary Trible, and celebrating a decade of providing hope to survivors of sexual violence while educating and empowering students and communities to be the change. We are honored that you have joined us this evening and hope you will be sure to save the dates for our next two events. October 22nd, we will continue celebrating at the Williamsburg Winery. Then we will wrap up our celebrations with our incredible gala at the Ferguson Center for the Performing Arts, safely in person. I would like to take a few moments to thank our wonderful sponsors and hosts for this evening. Our presenting sponsor, Town Bank, then Langley Federal Credit Union, Spain Commercial, Ferguson Enterprises, the Jacobs Group, CA Bars, Warwick Mechanical Group, Minton and Roberson Incorporated, Optimal Service Group, Riverside Hospital, WM Jordan, Huffman and Huffman, and I Am Companion Home Care. Our hosts for this evening are Susan and Randy Bryant, Susan and Rob Getz, Liz and John Waters, Mary Ann and Charlie Banks, Sam and Steve Howell, Chrissy and Tommy Garner, Barbara and Dwight West, Jennifer and Jim Burnett, Denise and Janesse Brown, Rosemary and Paul Trible, Keith and Greta Vandervenet, Carrie and Steve Carnes, Candy and Bob Snyder, Linda and Jim Slattery, and Kelly and Jim McGowan. Now, I'd like to introduce Susan Bryant and Claire Jacobs, our fabulous gala chairs.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I am Susan Bryant.
And I'm Claire Jacobs.
And together, we are your co-chairs for Fear to Freedom's 10th anniversary gala.
You know, I first learned about Fear to Freedom when I was teaching and working at Christopher Newport University, and often heard students talk about Rosemary Trible and how she had helped them heal from sexual trauma with her empathy and concern. I'm honored to be a part of this organization that has impacted so many lives in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. I first became involved with Fear to Freedom when I was on the very first gala planning committee. It has been a pleasure to work with every gala since, and I also serve as a board member. I know and have seen firsthand the positive changes we make in survivors' lives. And this is why I am so thrilled to be involved with this wonderful organization.
We look forward to seeing you all in person at our anniversary gala on March 19th, 2022.
Thank you again for being with us this evening, and we hope you enjoyed the program.
Thank you, ladies. I think it's important to look back at our impact over the past 10 years. When we were founded in 2011, the number 2 in our name was because every 2 minutes, someone in the United States was sexually assaulted. But now that number is every 73 seconds. While many believe this number is due to increased awareness and support for those victims coming forward and reporting incidences, there is still much work to be done. Fear to Freedom has worked tirelessly to help be the change on campuses and in communities around the United States and to empower people to do the same. We've been on 41 colleges and universities. We are in 14 states. We have 100 hospital and community partners that we work with. We have educated and empowered more than 25,000 students who've helped us pack and distribute more than 27,000 Fear to Freedom aftercare and eye care kits. That is 27,000 survivors whose lives we have impacted, men, women, and children. And more than 25% of our kits are children's kits. The amazing thing about our Fear to Freedom kits is that each one impacts the lives of 3 people: the person who packs the kit, the person who gives the kit to a victim, and of course, the survivor themselves. These kits change lives. Imagine a victim of sexual assault starting his or her recovery with nothing. Imagine leaving a hospital examination room after being sexually assaulted with nothing, not even a change of clothes because they're being kept for evidence. Imagine leaving alone with no one there to encourage you and to tell you that you will be all right. Fear to Freedom was created so no one would have to go through this or their trauma alone again. We are here tonight to celebrate Fear to Freedom, but also to help raise funds for this amazing organization. Without donations, we could not provide our aftercare kits to the thousands of survivors we've helped, or provide prevention education to the thousands of students we've impacted. Tonight, you can help. For example, a $2,500 donation can fund 84 aftercare kits, or put our programs on 2 universities, or 167 Freedom Bears. This would impact 84 survivors' lives. There's a link to our donation page and website in the chat if you are so moved to help. You've inspired and helped heal so many survivors.
Be the change.
I am not a victim. I am a survivor.
Now, it is my honor to introduce you to our founder, Rosemary Trible. Rosemary, you had an incredible vision and plan for this organization more than 10 years ago, and it's been my privilege to work alongside you these past years. You have been a true inspiration not only to me, but to the many survivors and students whose lives you have helped change.
As founder of Fear to Freedom, tonight is very exciting to join with you to celebrate this 10th anniversary and all that has been accomplished over these years. I have dedicated myself to be a voice for the voiceless. It has been one of the greatest privileges of my life to walk alongside so many victims of sexual assault, child abuse, domestic violence, and sex trafficking, and encourage survivors on their healing journey as they move from fear to freedom. My passion for this issue came out of my own pain, as at 25 years old, in 1975, I was brutally raped at gunpoint after hosting a television talk show called Rosemary's Guest Book in Richmond, Virginia, that focused on sexual assault. 4 days after the show, this huge man put a gun to my head as he whispered, "Okay, cute talk show host, what do you do with a gun in your head?" He was a rapist who had seen the show and was infuriated that I wanted to help victims. After a night of complete horror, my attacker drugged me to the window of the hotel room and said, "I know who you are. I know where you live, and I promise I will kill you if you tell." That was like a dagger of fear that pierced my heart. Immediately after he escaped, I called the police, yet he was never found. December 21st, 1975 changed my life forever. But truly what was meant for evil has been used for good in my life. He not only tore my body, but he stole my joy. I got my joy back and have been devoted to working with other survivors over the years, which led to my writing this book, Fear to Freedom, and then founding the nonprofit Fear, 2 Freedom, in 2011 to combat sexual violence. I was asked to share what was my inspiration to begin Fear to Freedom, and it was my experience when I visited Mother Teresa in Calcutta in 1997. As I knelt by her wheelchair, she told me about their work. Her eyes twinkled and her leathered hands held mine. It was like looking into the eyes of liquid love. I asked, "How do you do this work with so much pain and despair? And can you even imagine what it's like with COVID in India today. She said, "We are not called to be successful. We are called to be faithful." I asked, "What can I do?" She said, "Rosemary, go home and do what is right in front of you. Go home and love the person in front of you." That was the challenge that had me return and write my book, Fear to Freedom, and then begin F2F. You see, each one of you who have joined us tonight can be faithful to do what is right in front of you and to show compassion and love for the person in front of you. Perhaps even tonight, you could make a difference in someone's life devastated by sexual violence. My husband, Paul, when he left the House and the Senate after 12 years of public service, said, "This world is not going to be changed by great nation states or mighty armies, but by people like you who will change this world one person at a time." Tonight can be the beginning of your helping to transform someone's life devastated by abuse. Our mission is to restore dignity and hope to survivors of sexual assault and to empower students and communities to combat sexual violence. The need is so great and the statistics difficult. 1 in 4 college women and 1 in 16 men in college will experience some form of sexual assault during their time on campus. And the chance of such an assault is 60% higher with freshmen. This is unacceptable. As I took those who had been raped to the hospital for the PERC exam, I learned survivors had to leave all their clothes for evidence, and often they left in paper scrubs or a hospital gown, only adding to their shame. Now, these Fear to Freedom kits help preserve their dignity, providing basic needs like sized clothing and toiletries. We worked with the forensic nurses to develop the F2F aftercare kits, to help also with the victim's trauma, shame, and guilt that is so harmful to the healing process. These kits are a gift of hope to meet the physical, emotional, and psychological needs of the victims at a time of great trauma. As part of our Hour to Empower program, students pack the kits with 2 very impactful items: our special Freedom Bear and a note that they handwrite to the survivor. Our Hour to Empower trauma-informed education program allows students to truly make a difference in the lives of someone wounded by abuse. This program includes hearing from university and student leaders, as well as a survivor story, to help others know they are not alone, it was not their fault, and they are believed. This provides the opportunity for difficult conversations, often kept in silence, and helps students understand the prevalence of this issue on campus. Then begins the hands-on assembling of the Fear to Freedom aftercare kits and the iCare kits. Another powerful program is our Shadow event, which features survivors sharing their stories and the audience writing notes of encouragement that are very impactful and healing. I would now like you to see our empowerment video of 7 students that I have walked alongside their journey of healing.
1 in 5 female students will be sexually assaulted during their 4 years in college. This is not okay.
Every 2 minutes, someone is sexually assaulted in our country.
Between 11 and 17, I was abused by my adopted father.
I was repeatedly molested by my first grade teacher.
I was 15, he was 17, and he was supposed to be my friend.
For years, my cousins and my uncle sexually abused me when I was a child.
I trusted my guidance counselor in high school, who took me to the hospital where I got comfort from a Fear to Freedom kit.
We found out that he molested 5 of us over the course of 3 years.
This is unacceptable.
I was sexually assaulted by someone I just met early one morning my freshman year.
My sophomore year, I volunteered to be the designated driver for my sorority sisters. Little did I know I would be the next victim.
I was sexually assaulted when I went to visit a friend at another college.
I was at a party when a guy put something in my drink.
I had never really had alcohol before. My boyfriend at the time said he was going to take care of me.
As I sat in my car, suddenly the driver's side door opened and a stranger was there.
Asleep in a dorm, I awoke, terrified, to a man on top of me.
He attacked me and violently assaulted me.
No one deserves that pain. It is not fair.
It had an extreme psychological and emotional toll on not only myself, but also my family.
They stole my dignity and they stole my innocence.
I felt overwhelmed and shamed.
I felt I was living in the twilight zone and withdrew from everything I knew.
I felt I couldn't trust anyone, not even my own family.
I kept it in the dark, which was so hurtful. Bringing it to light started the healing process.
We must encourage those wounded not to keep it a secret, but to tell someone they trust. I left college broken and frustrated by the lack of justice.
I decided to report the assault and pursued the university justice system.
He was immediately expelled from school, and he was then convicted by the state and put in jail for a 1-year sentence. My adopted father pled guilty and is in prison for 18 years and 9 months.
At the age of 6, I told Child Protective Services my story to help arrest my abuser, and even had to testify in front of a jury.
I received something most don't. I received justice.
I have found new hope and healing and am engaged to a wonderful man. After 2 years, I told my mom. She comforted me and told me it wasn't my fault.
I am not a victim. I am a survivor.
I went from victim to survivor.
I refuse to be a victim. I am a survivor.
Restored hope and healing can come to victims. I want to now help others heal.
We must fight to end sexual assault on college campuses.
I was not going to let this define me.
My story does not define me, but it will forever be a part of me.
I will fight to restore the joy.
Together, we can help others move from fear to freedom. Join me to be the change.
I will be the change.
Join me and be the change.
Together, let's be the change.
I stand amazed that this is our 10th anniversary, and I'm very grateful for the impact Fear to Freedom has had. Although there have been some transitions to virtual education programs because of COVID, we are proud of all that has been accomplished, as the virtual learning has allowed us to reach more states and educate more students. But now it is time to grow, to move into more additional states, to expand our reach and get more people involved, to meet the needs for education and prevention about sexual violence on college campuses. But we need your help. A $1,000 donation would fund 34 aftercare kits, 1 university program, 50 eye care kits, 67 Freedom Bears. This will change the lives of 34 survivors. It is time to bring to light what has too often been kept in the dark. As I looked at my life after I was first raped, I saw myself as a large cracked pot with the words R-A-P-E across the pottery. Then a hand reached up into the light and put it into my pot and asked the question, where does the light shine through? I said it shines through the cracks. That is how you can make a difference in the lives of those wounded by abuse. Now you can help bring the light into the darkness, as silence is the greatest enemy of healing from abuse. We must find our voice,
Speak out, show compassion, and determine to make a tangible difference in the lives of those wounded by abuse, one person at a time. It is time to foster a culture of intervention, prevention, and awareness where we will help begin a positive conversation on what can be a very dark subject. It is time to create an environment where each of us leads the way in ending sexual violence, and where those wounded feel they can come forward out of the silence. Whether it is sexual assault, IPV, intimate partner violence, sex trafficking, stalking, or other forms of abuse, this must end. Together, we can partner by joining hands and hearts to combat sexual violence and determined to bring compassion to those wounded by abuse. Together, we can be the change and restore the joy for survivors of sexual violence. Please know I am deeply grateful for your joining us tonight and sharing our vision for the future.
Hi, I'm Alexis Carter, and I'm a survivor. When I was 15 years old, I was traveling with my mother and family to visit extended family, and I was sexually assaulted. Nothing was ever really done, so it took me some time through the teenage years, and finally I think I had suffered depression. I got treatment for that and got to a place where I could forgive myself and everyone else. Today, I am a college graduate. Yes, I'm a mother of 7, and I have my own business, and I'm a thriving survivor. You can do it.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Hammond-Williams, and I am a survivor. I was a freshman college student, and I was 18 at the time. I was raped by 2 students that I went to school with who I thought were my friends. If I could leave you with one message, one thought, is do not give up. I am a mom, I am a wife, I have a wonderful career, and I am currently also a small business owner, and I am also a survivor who is thriving.
Hi, I'm Shelley Smith, and I am a survivor. When I was a young child, my stepfather sexually abused me numerous times in different ways, as well as my sister. Years went by, we never told our mother, and we never told each other. It was worse for her, and she thought she was saving me. And when she found out that she hadn't saved me, it was really hard on her and for me. And regardless of what has happened to you, know that you can get through it. You find a way to get through it, and you find a way to own what's happened in a positive manner. I'm an example as a survivor where, does it haunt me a little? Yeah, it does. But it doesn't define who I am. And I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. And I wish that for you as well, because I know you can do it. Today I wear many titles. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, I'm an executive coach, I'm an international speaker. I am obsessed about helping companies with their workplace culture, but above everything, I'm a survivor and I'm thriving.
My name is Karen Conwell Smith, and I am a survivor. It has taken me 30 years to tell my story, and I thought I was doing fine, but I was surviving. When I was 14, I was held at gunpoint by a perverse individual. He was distracted and I ran, and I think I had been running ever since. I want to encourage you to not only survive, but thrive. And you must realize that thriving takes discipline. Thriving takes being honest with yourself. It's not until you face your fears that you can find freedom.
$500 tonight can help fund 34 Freedom Bears, or 17 aftercare kits, or 25 eye care kits. This will change the lives of 17 survivors.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear?
So let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand.
And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, and when you need someone to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
If you only say the word,
From across the silence, your voice is heard. Oh, someone will come running. Someone will come running. Someone will come running. Someone will come running to take you home. To take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 You are not. You are not alone. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. Let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you so much for performing for us, and I know that was a special treat for Rosemary. Fear to Freedom is changing the real-world scenario of sexual violence, hospital by hospital, college campus by college campus, and victim by victim. A donation of $250 can fund 17 Freedom Bears, or 9 aftercare kits, or 13 eye care kits. And there is one more way you can help Fear to Freedom tonight. You can become a monthly donor or start a 10 for 10 team. With 10 people donating $10 a month for our 10th anniversary, you will provide one program on a university campus or 40 aftercare kits in a year. It is a small donation monthly, but it has a big impact. For more information or to join, please click the link in the chat box.
Mom, I'm so excited to be here to help celebrate 10 years of your work and the work of the entire team at Fear to Freedom. That is no small accomplishment, and I know that you have changed the lives of countless, countless women. You know, for decades, you quietly met with women and you mentored them and you helped bring them on this journey of healing into peace, into redemptive joy. And I remember when you came to us, over a decade ago and said, look, now is the time to tell my story to the world. And that took such courage and that took such guts to do, and put pen to paper and write Fear to Freedom in a book that thousands of people have read. And I know that's made such a tremendous impact to know that you went through this and you came out on the other side. I think almost even more impressive is that you took that narrative and you turned it into action with Fear to Freedom. And you and your work, along with your teams, have exponentially multiplied the impact of your story and just positively affected thousands of women. And helped really transform their lives. You often tell the story of elephants and how if there's a wounded elephant, 2 other elephants come beside them and they hold that elephant up until that elephant is healed enough to walk on their own. And I think there's no other parable that more accurately describes what you all have done. You and the team at Fear to Freedom are those elephants for so many women who have brought them on this journey to transformational change and healing. I love you. I am so excited for you. I am so proud of you. And for every day for what you and the team have done. Congratulations on 10 incredible years, and I look forward to watching the impact of decades of the work ahead. Love you.
What a joy and an honor to be here today to say congratulations to Fear to Freedom for 10 amazing years of helping countless, countless people walk through tragedy and experience joy and redemption and freedom and life. What was meant for evil was turned to good. And what an amazing story to be able to walk alongside people, to be able to speak hope and to speak truth in people's lives, and to be able to walk with them and for them to believe that their lives, no matter what has happened, the greatest tragedies, the greatest challenges, that there could be redemption, that there could be hope, that there could be joy restored. Mom, I remember the day that you told us that I need to share my story. I need to share my story because my story is hopeful. And my story proves that even the most painful of circumstances can be redeemed, that God can use them in a powerful way to begin to set others free if we believe that and we trust. And I love how your life is such an example of that you stepped forward, that you spoke your truth and what happened to you, and that you not only shared your story, but then you walked right alongside people and gave them hope. And then this wonderful organization that was formed, you developed partnerships with amazing people that have come alongside you and caught this vision for helping set the captives free, for helping people that have gone through great tragedy and experience great freedom. And then they turn around and can do the same for others. What a gift. Thank you for showing that to me as well in my life, that the things that were really challenging, the things that were really painful in my life, that God could use them, that he could redeem and restore them, and that he could use them for good in my life and with others. Thank you for being such an example to me and to Paul and to my dad about that. And thank you for being so courageous, for starting this organization. Thank you for building an amazing team. And thanks to all the people that work at Fear to Freedom and all the volunteers and the board and everyone that has done such an amazing job pouring into this ministry in order to support and care for victims of sexual assault. I'm so glad that this organization exists. And I'm so glad, Mom, that you said yes to this mission. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. Thank you for all you do for this world. You are truly a light, and we adore you. Cheers.
Rosemary, we're here tonight in part to celebrate Fear to Freedom and our 10th anniversary. We're also here to celebrate you, the incredible woman who created Fear to Freedom, who had the vision, and who had the chutzpah to make it happen.
Hi, everyone.
I've looked up to you as a mentor and the person who I've always wanted to be when I grow up. But we're all here tonight because we love you, and we're so proud of all that we've been able to accomplish with Fear to Freedom because of you. You've inspired so many students. You've inspired and helped heal so many survivors. We just wanted you to know how much you mean to all of us. So here is a little tribute for you.
And it's been my great privilege to watch how she took this terrible event in her life, her rape, and has used it to mentor and encourage and help others heal for many, many years. How you took something so terrible in your life and turned it into good for so many.
You have changed our program infinitely. I always thought the work we did was unparalleled and uncomparable to anything else that we had on the peninsula or the south side, but Fear to Freedom was really the cherry on top. Not only was it just gracious and kind to be able to give a gift of just new clothes, and how little that probably means to most people, but for us and for those victims, it's huge.
Rosemary, I end on this note. Thank you so very much for being this important and impactful person in my life and my family's life, and being this stalwart person that you are out in the community. I really, truly know that you have helped me in so many ways, and you have been the change for me and countless others. Thank you. I love you so much and appreciate all that you've done for myself and everyone else.
We're good.
Hi, Rosemary. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm not sure about the Zoom call, but this is Alden Co. And I speak for David and me and all of my family, Jan and all of us, just to say that you are amazing and that I so have admired your courage and honesty and your faithfulness. And through all of that, you have been an instrument of healing in the hand of God, not just to survivors of sexual assault, but to your all women that you come across, your students, your friends, and I've watched it for many years. And I just want to applaud you. I think you're amazing. And I love watching the healing that has happened. And I've experienced healing just watching your courage and your honesty and your faithfulness. And we love you. And I agree with everything that's been said, that many more lives can be changed and helped with more years of this. So thank you so much. We really love you.
You're here.
Hi, Rosemary. This is Laura from Arlie of the Cleveland Clinic. I personally have seen how your kits have affected and changed our patients. You have inspired so many people through your kits, and we are entirely grateful to you. Thank you for the work that you do.
Hi, Rosemary. It's Mary Frances. I just want to say you look great. It's just been an honor that I've been able to work with you, the last few years at CNU with all of our wonderful students and really see firsthand, your giving heart. And I've learned so much from you and just really, really appreciated, the honor of being able to do that with you. And just really thank you so much. I've seen firsthand, how you've touched our young women and men at CNU, and just nobody else like you. Thank you.
Rosemary, this is Linda, and I want to give a toast with these beautiful Fear to Freedom champagne flutes. I'm going to give a toast to a woman that I've known for 30 years, who 10 years ago, she saw a need and she decided to do something about it. I want to give a toast to a woman who not only saw the need, but had all sorts of plans and ideas to create this amazing thing that we have celebrated tonight. It's extraordinary. I want to celebrate a woman and toast a woman who's a go-getter. Now, the last few months have had a couple of challenges, although thank you, God, Rosemary's doing great, so great. But for all of us who have known her for a few years, we know that Rosemary can do more, think of more things to in more, visit more people. She's always a go. She loves more, she hugs more, and sometimes she cries more. Rosemary, I want to give a toast to you, a great lover of your family. You love your husband, and you and Paul have been such partners over the years. You love your amazing children. Didn't they do a fabulous job tonight? And their spouses. You love those fabulous 4 grandchildren. You even love the new family dog. You love your family. And I want to give a toast to a woman who loves the God of the universe with all her heart, mind, and soul. And your whole life has honored him. So I want to give a toast to a woman who has single-handedly affected positive change in hundreds of thousands of people. It's amazing. It's extraordinary because of your caring and your faithfulness to my dear friend, to Rosemary.
Rosemary and I are so grateful for every one of you who is joining us tonight. Your support of Fear to Freedom is remarkable and inspiring. In that spirit, I'd like to propose 2 toasts. First, as we look back at the past 10 years, at our decade of hope and all that we have accomplished, I know that we are proud and grateful as our work has truly made a difference and been the change in so many lives. And as we look forward to the next 10 years, I hope we will think even bigger and be even bolder in our plans for expansion, education, and support. I know Fear to Freedom is poised for amazing things. So here's to a past of great purpose, a present of so much promise, and a future that I'm certain will be nothing short of phenomenal. And to my dear friend, mentor, and our wonderful founder, there are no words to express how much you mean to me, to all of us, to students, to Fear to Freedom, and most importantly, to survivors everywhere. You are an incredible woman who had the fire, the confidence, and determination to make this all happen. And we are so grateful to you. You are the joy behind this organization and an inspiration to all who know you. Thank you, dear Rosemary. This is in honor of you. Cheers. Thank you. Now I'll give Rosemary a minute, but as we wrap things up, I want to once again thank the incredible Theater CNU students for their beautiful performance. You truly brought tears to our eyes with that song. Thank you to all our hosts and sponsors and all of you who joined us this evening. Remember, you can still support us after our event, and please join us as we continue to celebrate our 10th anniversary and a decade of hope. Save the dates as we celebrate in person October 22nd at the Williamsburg Winery and March 19th, 2022 at CNU for our fabulous gala. Rosemary.
You truly have surprised me beyond. I'm deeply touched and overwhelmed by the toast, by my family, by those that have been victims, that are survivors, living great lives, and also for the beautiful, beautiful song by our extraordinary theater students at Christopher Newport. This has been a memorable evening that I will always treasure. My deepest thanks also to Tricia, to our team at Fear to Freedom, our board, volunteers, schools, hospitals, forensic nurses, community partners, and supporters like you who are listening and making the way to bring hope and healing to those that have been so wounded by abuse. As we celebrate this 10th year anniversary, it's like we become a family to care for others and combat sexual violence. And yes, you joining us tonight are also a part of that family. Some 30 years ago, I determined what I called my purpose in life. I exist to radiate joy and help those wounded find their joy. Now it is your leadership and the support of so many that will carry us forward and expand our mission. Tonight, I am extremely honored by all of you and allowed me to know that yes, what was meant for evil has been used for good in my life. As we continue to celebrate this decade of hope and our upcoming gala, let's commit together to be the change. God bless you. Thank you. And good night.